Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. Welcome to part 3 of how to properly wrap edges with paint protection film. Here we got this 2016 Chevy Impala and I did a bulk PPF install on the hood. In this video, I'm going to share some tips and tricks on how I like to wrap edges, and hopefully you guys find some value in this video. Okay, first things first, you want to figure out your starting points. Now, the first bit of advice that I can give when you're wrapping edges, always start at the hardest spots possible. So for example, with this Impala hood, we got this sharp corner here at the front. This is where we want to start. Now, there's a few ways you could wrap these edges. If you have a wrap glove, you could use a wrap glove. What I like to do is I like to have a damp microfiber towel. And what I like to do is I like to come around just with my thumb. Actually, I'll lower the hood a little bit more so you can see this. Now what I like to do is just take my thumb and slowly push it around the edge, and I'm gonna go back and forth around that corner, just like so. Now as you can see, right over here, we're starting to have some fingers pop up. Those fingers are nothing to worry about, because right now that I know that I've got the film about 3/4 of the way wrapped, what I can do is just go back and forth. I can press those down, no problem. Now what I can do after that is that sharp little pinch that I have right there of excess film, I can trim that off and it's not gonna pop up. But now I know that I've at least got the hardest part of the edge wrapping done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna come around here and I'm gonna switch hands for the sake of this video. And I actually like to work in like 1 to 2 foot sections. So since I know that I have the hardest part down first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right out to about here. I got my hand rested on the top of the hood, and I'm just gonna go back and forth, slowly pushing the material over the edge. And then as I come back, I'm pushing the material a little bit further around the edge. And then when I go back, I'm gonna push it a little bit closer. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press it all the way down. Okay, now we can continue to move on. We can start, I'm gonna start probably about right over here. And all I'm worried about is just getting the film just around the edge. And then when I come back, I'm pushing it down a little bit further. And then when I go back, I'm pushing it a little bit more over that edge. And I just find that this is the best method for me to have a nice, clean looking edge once I'm done wrapping. Now, one thing that I've seen people do, and when I actually took my paint protection film training back in the day, was people would use a squeegee. And actually, I'm just gonna grab a squeegee right now to kind of demonstrate this. A lot of people I've seen do this, and like I mentioned when I took my training, they would take their squeegee and they would hold onto it with 2 hands, and then they would wrap their edge like that. Now you can do that. That did work quite well, but that is a very time-consuming process to have to go around the hood to do that, which is why I like the method that I'm using, where I'm just slowly working it around that corner, just like so. Okay, so now we're over here near the back of the hood, and we got ourselves another relatively sharp corner. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to start over here and wrap your edge and then come to this corner. It's just gonna create a lot of creases and fingers underneath the backside. So same thing we did on the very front of the hood is I'm just gonna take my rag, and I'm just gonna wrap that corner with my thumb, just like so. And then I'm gonna work outward from there. And that's gonna sit down nicely. Okay, so that right there, that's my favorite technique on how to properly wrap edges. Not saying that's the right way or the wrong way, but it is definitely my preferred way, and it's the way that I would recommend everybody else to try. I find it to be very efficient. That being said, if you've always used a squeegee to wrap your edges and you prefer that, hey, by all means, feel free to do that. Biggest takeaways for this, in my point of view, is when you're wrapping your edges, always get the hardest areas down first. The areas with lots of curves, sharp points, such as the front of this Impala hood here. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and stay tuned to our last video coming up next week, which is going to be going over how to properly post heat the edges and what tools are all needed for that. So thanks again for watching.